Our day started on the Lido deck of the Celebrity Apex as we docked in Copenhagen, Denmark. My husband walked on the track and I had the pool to myself. Afterwards, we were able to get some breakfast before our afternoon tour of Copenhagen. We stopped very briefly at the Little Mermaid statue, then we were off to Christiansborg Palace. Construction here first began around 1167, and it was where Danish rulers resided for about the next 600 years. Because of several fires, there is a mix of Danish architecture on the grounds, Baroque, Neoclassical, and Neo-Baroque. Since the mid-1800s, it has housed the Parliament, the Supreme Court, and the office of the Prime Minister. While the royal family resides elsewhere now, they still use the royal stables and other formal areas in the palace. Part of the Scandinavian diaspora of the early 1900s, many people in my family moved to the United States from this place. It was not lost on me that in that palace, I was standing in a building that my ancestors may have regarded as almost a holy place, and one they likely never were able to visit. We found beautiful rooms filled with art, statues, and international shipping treasures. Everything from carved armoires from Asia to rugs hand-woven in India. Unfortunately, at about halfway through the tour, there was a problem. The tour was interesting and the buildings were spectacularly beautiful, but at the point when the tour guide started to explain about the historic Dutch wealth, I almost left the tour because of her awful attitude. She spoke at length about the riches the Dutch sailing captains and the government received from around the 1600s to the 1800s by what she called, and I quote, transporting 500,000 goods from Africa to the Americas. She laughed and shrugged her shoulders like, oh, what are you going to do? No big deal, right? And I was confused about what she had said for a moment. Goods? Oh, no. She was flippantly laughing about 500,000 people being transported from Africa to the Americas. After that, my ears pretty much turned themselves off, and I wandered around as she talked, and I waited for the tour to be over. From the rest of the time we spent in Copenhagen, I don't think her attitude was representative of others, but it pretty much ruined the rest of the castle tour for me, as I noticed all of the gilding and drapes and statues, for me, had an ugly tarnish on them. If you tour Christiansborg Castle, I hope that you go there on her day off.